What he has done, to be quite honest with you, is absolutely disgusting. And I always hope, and I always want to give athletes the benefit of the doubt.
Go court taking drugs, hear your charge. It's like fucking murder. If you fucking murder somebody.
Eddie said to me yesterday it's 60-40, so we don't know. I don't know if that is the case and he's failed a sample for cocaine. That's really surprising. Massively surprising.
Jermaine Franklin fails drug test ahead of Moses Itauma Showdown. The boxing world is in shock as Franklin reportedly tested positive, sending ripples through fight week. Eddie Hearn didn't hold back, calling it sabotage and a complete system failure. Fans are stunned, debates raging about fairness and accountability, while Franklin now faces serious scrutiny just days before stepping into the ring.
But do you know what is the absolute liberty about all of this? Is the way that he, after he failed that test on Monday, texts me, texts you, to say, I swear I've not taken anything. This is sabotage. This is just a system against me. Fuck off. It's an absolute, you know what, it makes me sick. That
Jermaine Franklin fails drug test ahead of Moses Itauma fight. Derek Chisora didn't hold back, calling Franklin's actions reckless and embarrassing for the sport. Fans are outraged, questioning how a fighter could compromise a high-stakes matchup like this. The situation has thrown the upcoming bout into uncertainty, with the boxing world demanding accountability and consequences.
You know, everybody who gets caught taking drugs should get a fucking 10-year ban, man. Fuck everybody. I don't understand why we have to fucking footsie around.
Eddie Hearn is facing a whirlwind after Jermaine Franklin failed a drug test ahead of his fight with Moses Itauma. Speaking with the British Boxing Board of Control, Hearn is trying to navigate the legal and procedural fallout. The news is barely minutes old, leaving fans and the boxing world anxious about the fight's future and potential consequences.
obviously at the moment the British Boxing Board of Control aren't. So we have to speak with them, deal with the legal situation and see where it lands. And this is quite fresh. Obviously, I don't even think it's 30 minutes. I think it's more like 10 or 15 minutes since that. And, you know, we'll see what rolls on the next.
Johnny Nelson slammed Jermaine Franklin for testing positive on the morning of his fight, calling it reckless and dangerous. He highlighted the dilemma the British Boxing Board of Control now faces in deciding the consequences. The incident has sent shockwaves through the boxing community, raising serious questions about preparation, responsibility, and the safety of Moses Itauma.
Done this morning, man, to make the way how he's done it, you know, on the morning of a fight, it's just wrong. It's dangerous, and the board are now in a situation where they think shit. So I don't know.
Anthony Joshua called Jermaine Franklin's failed drug test a real disappointment, saying it's a shame for the sport. Even he admitted he didn't fully understand what happened. The situation has left the boxing world speculating, with analysts and commentators questioning how such a high-profile fight could be overshadowed by last-minute controversy and broken trust.
He's been test positive, yeah.
It's happened, man. It happens in this sport. It's not new. It's happened to me already. I'm just happy I invest in this.
Liam Goff broke down the impact of Jermaine Franklin's positive test, noting how different substances linger in the body depending on the type of test. Even tiny amounts could affect performance or eligibility. This revelation has stirred debate in the boxing circuit, with experts questioning oversight and the fairness of proceeding with a fight under such circumstances.
Just chuck it out there. If depending on the amount, that will depend on how long it remains in your system. So from what I can gather, if you've taken a very limited amount, very little amounts, it could stay in your system. But depending on the nature of the test, if it's a saliva test, if it's a urine test, if it's a hair test, it's going to stay in your system a lot longer. But
Duke McKenzie questioned the baffling results of Jermaine Franklin's drug tests, highlighting how both the A and B samples returned positive. He called the situation completely illogical, leaving the boxing world stunned. The controversy has cast a shadow over Franklin's preparation for Moses Itauma, raising concerns about fairness, integrity, and the potential consequences he now faces before stepping into the ring.
How can he give a sample and then a B sample and they both come back positive for a banned substance? It doesn't make any sense.
Adam Catterall described Jermaine Franklin's failed performance-enhancing drug test as shocking and deeply disappointing. He emphasized how such incidents undermine trust in the sport and put clean fighters at a disadvantage. The revelation has sparked heated discussion within boxing circles, with experts questioning oversight, safety, and how the British Boxing Board of Control will handle such a high-profile and last-minute infraction.
Shocking when any fighter fails a performance-enhancing drug test. It is incredibly shocking and disappointing.
Spencer Oliver expressed utter disbelief over Jermaine Franklin testing positive for cocaine just days before facing Moses Itauma. He highlighted how shocking and absurd it is for a fighter to enter a high-stakes matchup under such circumstances. Oliver stressed that with so much on the line, career opportunities, rankings, and reputation, this failure is inexplicable. The situation leaves Franklin with serious questions to answer, while boxing fans and analysts are left debating the integrity of the sport, the risks to clean fighters, and the consequences the board must enforce to preserve fairness and safety in the ring.
Blown away by what it is, recreational drugs, cocaine. You just go, how has that got in your system? He's got some explaining to do for one, and you think with what you had on the line, and with what what was coming up for you, and the opponent you had in front of you, you just go like, cocaine in your system.
Moses Itauma reacted to the news of Jermaine Franklin's failed drug test with a mix of focus and restrained frustration. While eager to silence doubters and prove his skills, he remained cautious about public discussion, particularly about sensitive aspects like his own resilience. Itauma's response reflects a professional mindset, highlighting his readiness to capitalize on Franklin's controversy while keeping attention on the upcoming fight. The incident adds tension to the bout, with fans and commentators anticipating how Franklin's actions will affect both his preparation and performance, leaving the boxing world on edge.
I can finally shut a few people up. It's just the only one that I ain't trying to get answered is how's Moses Itauma's chin. Ain't nobody trying to answer that one.
Ade Oladipo suggested there might be alternative explanations for Jermaine Franklin's failed test, though he admitted it sounds far-fetched. He encouraged giving Franklin the benefit of the doubt while acknowledging the situation is undeniably bizarre. Oladipo's measured perspective emphasizes caution in judgment, yet he doesn't dismiss the seriousness of the infraction. The boxing community remains stunned and divided, debating intent versus accident. This controversy overshadows what should have been a focused build-up to a high-profile fight, forcing both promoters and fans to navigate uncertainty while wondering how such a last-minute scandal will affect Franklin's career and the fairness of the contest.
If it's somehow in his system from other means, I know that might sound crazy, but I guess we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, do we? I'd like to think we do. But yeah, this is wild. Honestly, this is...
Carl Frampton condemned Jermaine Franklin's failed drug test, calling it a severe violation with dangerous implications. He argued that any fighter caught using performance-enhancing drugs should face a lifetime ban, stressing that boxing is inherently risky and such actions endanger opponents. Frampton's statement underlines the moral and ethical responsibilities of athletes, emphasizing that high-profile fighters are role models. The incident ignites heated debate over regulation, enforcement, and safety protocols. Fans and experts alike are outraged, questioning how someone could jeopardize a critical matchup and the sport's credibility.
High-profile guys getting caught, and it's just horrible. Genuinely, and I know you were about saying, without going fucking fully mental here, I just believe if you're caught with any performance-enhancing drug, you should be banned.
Adam Smith expressed his surprise at the sudden news of Jermaine Franklin failing a drug test ahead of his fight with Moses Itauma. He admitted the situation is still unfolding, with official findings yet to be released and very little clarity from authorities. The controversy erupted on social media, leaving fans, analysts, and insiders scrambling for answers. Smith highlighted the uncertainty surrounding the legal and procedural aspects, noting that until formal statements emerge, speculation will dominate the conversation. This incident not only threatens Franklin's reputation, but also casts a shadow over the fight itself. The boxing world is watching closely, eager to see how promoters, regulators, and Franklin will respond in the coming hours.
And I'll wait and see what happens. I mean, I don't know the the findings. We don't know. I haven't seen statements really. I don't know. It's come out in the social media world as
Johnny Nelson voiced frustration and disbelief over Jermaine Franklin's failed drug test, questioning why any fighter would risk taking substances knowing the consequences. He emphasized the danger such actions pose, not only to the athlete, but to opponents like Moses Itauma, who could face unnecessary risk in the ring. Nelson highlighted the baffling timing, as the infraction occurred mere days before the fight. The controversy has sparked heated debate about accountability, testing protocols, and fighter responsibility. Boxing fans, commentators, and regulatory bodies are all weighing in, analyzing the potential impact on Franklin's career and the sport's integrity. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the high stakes and strict ethical standards required in professional boxing.
People think, oh, you won't know what stays for 2 weeks. I don't know, why would you take it knowing there's a possibility that it's going to be in your system? And why would you take it for our sport anyway?
Adam Smith reflected on the unpredictable nature of boxing, saying incidents like Jermaine Franklin's failed drug test are reminders of the sport's chaos. He speculated on possible motives, but dismissed the idea that the situation was staged. Smith stressed that even with professionalism and preparation, last-minute controversies can completely alter a fighter's trajectory. Analysts and fans are now debating the implications for the upcoming Moses Itauma fight, from safety concerns to fairness and public perception. Franklin's actions have ignited conversations about discipline, testing enforcement, and ethics in boxing. The sport is left in limbo, with uncertainty surrounding both Franklin's accountability and how this scandal will ultimately affect his reputation and future opportunities.
Look, you never know in boxing. It's expect the unpredictable. Do I think it was staged? No.
Tony Bellew described Jermaine Franklin's failed drug test as a frightening development for boxing, emphasizing the dangerous precedent it sets. He argued that incidents like this turn the sport into a circus, overshadowing legitimate competition and athlete skill. Bellew highlighted the broader consequences, from safety risks to the erosion of public trust. Fans and commentators are grappling with frustration and disbelief, questioning how such last-minute scandals occur and why enforcement hasn't prevented them. The situation intensifies scrutiny on regulators and promoters, while Franklin's career hangs in the balance. Bellew's commentary underscores the urgent need for accountability, clear rules, and the protection of fighters who compete clean in a sport already rife with risk.
Frightening for the sport. It's not that it's bad, it's frightening. But listen, this isn't boxing as a sport, this is the circus.
The Jermaine Franklin drug test scandal has sent shockwaves through boxing, leaving fans, analysts, and promoters questioning everything about the upcoming Moses Itauma fight. From Eddie Hearn scrambling with the British Boxing Board of Control, to Johnny Nelson, Spencer Oliver, and Tony Bellew expressing disbelief and concern, the boxing world is in turmoil. Franklin now faces serious consequences, both legally and professionally, while the integrity of the matchup hangs in the balance. Moses Itauma, meanwhile, remains focused, ready to capitalize on the controversy, but uncertainty looms over whether this fight can proceed as planned. What do you think will happen next? Will Franklin be cleared, banned, or forced out of the bout? Comment below with your predictions, and let us know how you feel about this shocking development. This is a story the boxing world won't forget anytime soon.